Hi, Taurus. This is your mid-January to mid-February reading. I am happy to have you here. Today we'll be using the Hanson Roberts Tarot, as well as the Pure Magic Oracle by Andres Ingracia, excuse me. All right, so your oracle cards speak of a dark night of the soul. I don't know if you've ever heard of that term before or understand what it is, but there is a breaking of light after a time of darkness for you, and this darkness has caused some serious spiritual growth for you, and you are rising in vibration or rising above the situation that you were once in, or the state you were once in. And it's a card of hexes being broken, of curses, and that curse could be more of a figurative sense of a curse. It doesn't have to be someone put a spell on you and caused you a bunch of grief. It could have been life kind of felt like a curse or a burden. And then now the dawn is breaking, and you can finally see yourself having belief again in tomorrow's better days. There's also this kind of standing up for yourself and facing your own darkness. And there's also final chapters closing with this. There's a letting go of something. And how perfect it is for your reading, because your underlying card for the tarot is death. Death is super scary looking to some people, but it's one of the best cards, I think, in the tarot. And here's why. You're going through a great transmutation of your old life, of your old self, of your own old, whatever is old is being reborn anew. Think of it as like you were in a chrysalis, and that chrysalis could have been a chrysalis of crap, really, because you were just like a diamond in the rough, like being pressurized in the earth. You were going through quite an ordeal, and death can feel like that sometimes, because change is painful for a lot of us, and in a lot of situations. So we get comfortable sometimes with our creature comforts, and Taurus, you are the creature comfort sign. You are the luxurious, five senses stimulating, even if you consider it like a natural five senses, like, the tickling of the blades of grass in the sunshine in the summer in a field, the warm smell of hot sand and salt at the ocean. Like, you are the natural world and its comforts it brings, as well as the evolved type of comforts that we have, including good food, and great smells, perfumes, and anything Venusian. And I feel like, and don't get me wrong here, Venus went through, she didn't go through Scorpio recently that I can recall being in. Anyway, Venus has been going through Capricorn, and I believe she's going to make her way back into Aquarius soon. If that's what... I'm a little bit backwards tonight, sorry. I've been under the weather. I had to take a day off because I had a lot going on. So Venus is going to change signs soon. And that may be affecting you greatly. Like you may just you started to build up momentum to get yourself out of this dark hole that you were in for a while. And as she's been going through retrograde through Capricorn, you felt the difference and things were going to change or could see that things were going to change, but I think it will maybe loosen up and lighten up your situation when she does come back into her normal stance in the sky. So going forward, so let's normal stance. Well, she's normally goes retrograde. It's just a very rare period of her being retrograde for an extended amount of time in one sign. So, okay, at the center of your tarot reading. Oh, and I also wanted to say that this change comes in pretty quickly and leads you to great abundance. And this is where the Venus came in. The Empress is all great things of abundance. She is the natural world's abundance. She is the divine feminine's abundance. Because of this, she creates children. She births beautiful projects. She just utilizes what's around her and knows that it's forever there and forever being offered to her by the universe, and therefore she is the Earth Mother, really. And she encompasses, the female sign because she represents all things to do with womanhood and femininity, and men too can have a divine feminine. We all have divine feminine and masculine traits and qualities and spirit. You can't be one of anything in this world, or at least in the spirit world you can't. So, that being said, the center of your reading, we have you. This is the sign of Taurus, I believe. I'm pretty sure, if not the High Priestess is also the sign of Taurus. But I have a feeling that this is too. And I see an offer, an action on love. And I see you and when I say love, I don't necessarily mean a romantic love. Sometimes these cards can speak of both romantic love and, the love that we share with other people, our friends. We're frozen now, so you'll have to bear with me. Hopefully it's recording. But this is a step, an action towards something that you love or someone that you love that brings you happiness, emotional fulfillment of some kind, or you hope for it to. And the wings represent Mercury and the communication of love as well. It's a message, it's a messenger. It's taking action on something that you want to pursue, that you are looking for to make you happy. The Hierophant. This is daddy. This is the father of a system. This could be, in the highest, oldest regards of the card, it could be the Pope. Could be the top daddy of the food chain. It could be your father in the family. It can represent you because I believe it's the sign of Taurus. It is somebody or something, an organization that people go to for advice. People learn. This is all organized education. So, with rules and structure, there would be an academia here. There would be, a college and going through the process of that. There could be priesthood here. This could be a calling of God to come in and go and do the steps to become a priest or a priestess, or but in this situation, I'm getting the feeling that there might have been something in the past that was a burden. But you were carrying it for a long time. And we're almost at the end here, because it's pretty much we were at the end then. We just didn't know it. And we kind of come into this situation now being hopeful and offering up our excitement towards something. This is also a flirtatious card. In the future, I see there being, if this is about a boss, or some kind of falling in love with authority, or looking up to an authority figure in your life, and it could have to do with work. This isn't working for me. Oh, guys, I really appreciate the people that have found me on YouTube, and especially those of you that comment and like. I mean, it's so nice. I never thought I would get into this. It's been a rough couple of days for me. So thank you for letting me vent that. All right. So I'm going to stop looking at this and go to the end and work my way back. So great change happens. You're going through a period of great change. Something was really dark. You're being elevated to a higher level of consciousness, or spiritually you are raising your vibration from a situation that was not good. And you made recently an offer, or took action on something that you were hopeful for. And what's hindering it is somebody who is in charge, who has to sift through this offer. So this could have been something to do with a loan. It could have been, and this is kind of a silly example, I don't know how much this rings true today, but it could have been your offer of love towards somebody that you really care about, especially if you're younger, and you had to deal with the dad of the situation, the father of the girl that you're in love with, or the parent that you're in love of the child that you're in love with, or the person you're in love with. Your girlfriend's parent would be difficult. Rephrase. Or could be, you could be you're doing something that you love, but you got a boss that's kind of rough around the edges. and you're trying to make that money, and it looks like you're making pretty good money. It looks like you're making pretty good money um, from this situation. So maybe you have a difficult boss. In the past, you were out of work or you had a job that was awful, um, and that you left. And then so you're working now. You're doing something that you love, but you are finding that somebody who is in charge is kind of really kind of putting a halt on your creative expression. Maybe you're making good money here. It's helping you to be able to take care of yourself. You don't really have a worry with this paycheck, you know? You are able to enjoy life. Um, you work hard, but you also have attained some level of security here where you don't have to worry about, I've got money in the bank. And so if something happens, I've never had money in the bank before. It's kind of nice to have all this money in the bank. And so I don't really want to mess this up, even though this might be a little bit challenging for me. And underneath in the surrounding and the underlying, your subconscious. What you're aware of is you're doing pretty good. What you're not aware of, or what you need to be aware of, is you need to temper yourself. You need to find more balance emotionally. Or balance emotionally will help this situation immensely. Making sure that you keep yourself in check with this person. Don't, they may have some kind of anger issue or mental health issue or something that is imbalanced within them. And so you're trying to navigate them being their restrictive rules and their regulations and create some kind of, you're trying to be creative as well. You really want to you want to do what you love, and you want to be able to do it as an art form. And you're making money at it, but you really want to get more into that art form. And it's somebody else's, so they're going to tell you like, hey, no, I want it done this way, this way, this way. Now, so patience, you're maybe lacking a little bit of patience with this person. Maybe they're older than you and you find them obsolete, but at the same time, they're your boss and you have to be respectful, Maybe there is a gift of money coming from an older person in your family, and you've been told that you're gonna get this car, this money, or whatever this is, and you have to be patient. This also could be going to school or going to a place of education, and the curriculum is kind of dragging, and you wish that your professor was a little less by the book about things, or your teacher. So there's a number of things. In the past, though, you were struggling with something. I think that you might have been struggling with making a change. This also, hear me out, could be going to a cosmetic medical organization or facility, and going in with high hopes for, you want to love yourself, and you're taking action on, or appreciate yourself more, or do something nice for yourself, and you have the money to do it. You've been There's been a change, and you have the money to do it now. So you're going in, and you're going to get a little. I'm not advocating anything. I'm just saying that we have this happen in life. People go and do stuff to themselves, and they and for themselves. So this could be like a cosmetic pick me up, and there is some kind of rules or things you need to do or follow. Of course, because there's a regimen of aftercare and pre-care and aftercare, and so this is what's been kind of challenging for you. But you've struggled with something in the past for sure. So you're releasing, you're letting that go, you're ready to move on and to take action on something that you're going to love, and you're being met with here's the thing. This is the agreement, or this is the the contract, the paperwork, the legal kind of traditional approach to things. This is traditional medicine as well. I see the health symbol on his sword. So this could be a plastic surgeon. And creating balance, patience with this process. The King of Swords is somebody who, in the upright, is really clear on how he thinks and he feels about things. He is somebody who is decisive, and not in the sense of he just makes decisions. He's pretty rational about his approach to things, very logical. He's very clear-headed as well. He's mastered his own thoughts, his own philosophies on life. He's the king of his suit, so he knows he's been there and won the t-shirt. In the reverse, I know a lot of people read that as like not being clear, and I simply see him as the one cutting, or the one doing the injecting of a needle when he's in the reverse. It's showing how sharp it is and where it's piercing down. It's kind of, I know that there's a traditional way of reading this. I'll try to get that out as well. There's also a staking claim on something, of like, when you stick a sword in the ground, it's like, I claim this land, or this is mine. Your advice is, with this situation, maybe take it easy with the drinking if you're going to be having a procedure done. With the Three of Cups, it's a celebration, but in reverse, you might feel like you can't celebrate this with friends, that your friends wouldn't understand how much this means to you, and it's also like giving in. It's a giving in, it's a little bit of debauchery. Your advice is to give in and just go for it, and indulge a little bit on yourself, I think. If this is a romantic offering to a boss, or an offer from a boss figure, an authority figure, I say in the future you might not be feeling very clear-headed about the situation, so I would really take the time to make that decision as much as you can. I can't help but feel she's got the bird there, you know? She's got her bird there, then we have a bird here. That song, I Will Rise Up, Rise Like the Day, is also coming to mind by Audra. Oh gosh, I don't remember her name. Audra. You know that song. Somebody, if you know it, put it in the comments. In spite of the ache, I will rise up 1,000 times again. So, after a fall, after a darkness, there is rejuvenation. There is an injection of rejuvenation of some kind. And you're asked to be indulgent a little bit. Don't go crazy. I see cups upside down here. I see they're cheersing here. They're been poured here. This could be a big celebration with lots of drinking with friends over this situation. But I also see down here, now this is reversed, but up here it's like you're enjoying whatever you've accomplished, whatever you're working on, in private now. You may be sharing it with one little fur baby friend, but or feather baby friend, but you're asked to let others come into this knowing and celebration with you, to help you celebrate this big step in your life, or a big accomplishment, or a big moving forward, and others are seeing you as moving out of troubled waters, having kind of survived something that was kind of mentally obnoxious, exhausting, and that you're coming into a new life, really, of peacefulness. And there's exciting things around the corner for you that you've longed for a while. If you've been through a trying time, and you are planning already to have like some kind of pick me up, like some kind of refresher, whether it's a day at the spa or it's a more of a little more invasive than a spa treatment. Um, I think that funny enough, Spirit is saying, okay, it's time. I also see this as like a spa day as well. So you and your friends may very well if end up at some kind of like retreat or spa. A very Taurus thing, very Venusian thing for you. Maybe this is a treatment that has to do with beauty that doesn't involve a, a needle. It could be a non-invasive type of procedure, now that I think about it. Something that was bothering you in the past, too much burden, too much to carry. There was an excessive amount of something is being cleared out. You're moving forward. People see that. There's a lot of water here. Lots of water. It's a very emotional reading. And there's a lot of air in your oracle as well. Well, your hopes and your fears sector. You fear what you don't know. You fear an outcome that you can't see. You fear hidden things. Something that the moon is something coming up from the surface in the night. It looks like a monster, but it's just a lobster or a crab. So you might be unclear. This is there's unclear about the outcome of things, not being able to see what something is going to be, whether it's this love relationship with somebody who's has more authority than you, or it's a cosmetic or procedure, or you're doing art, and you've recently started getting a little bit big in the scene after the starving artist time, and you're putting your work in a gallery, and the gallery's being very picky and driving you nuts, and you're just not sure what they're going to say about this one piece or this exhibit of some kind that you're working on, or you're not sure. You're going to school for something that you love, and you're not sure if it's the right thing for you, or if things are going well, or how you really think and feel about it, because it's not always been easy. It's been trying. It seems like you're doing good, though. No matter what, this is really emotional and what's going on in your head. All of this stuff. And this is like what is the situation, what you're thinking about. You're thinking about how well you're doing, how far you've come, what you've achieved thus far. Or maybe you're thinking about that you want to get to this point. You're not there just yet, but you want to get to this point. And you're conscious of that. And you're figuring out how to make that work for you, how to get there. Tempering your emotions, tempering your beliefs on things, trying to see like what is the perfect alchemical equation to get me to this Nine of Pentacles, this basking in my own luxury, being able to feel secure, having everything I need and more. Time for spa day, time for money for spa day, money for fun. You might have been working on something so hard in the past that you kind of lost touch with your friends. It's time to reconnect, time to celebrate this new beginning, this ending of one phase and the beginning of another one in your life. If you have lost anybody, a loved one, and you went through a very challenging time this past year, this would be the time that you can feel things starting to lighten up for you. That you're asked to reconnect with the people that you love or reconnect with old friends. You know, they see you moving on. And you're worried about what you don't know. You're worried about how things are going to turn out. You're hopeful. Maybe you're hopeful for romance. Sometimes the moon comes to me as a romantic card. If it is a relationship with someone in authority, you fear there being secrets. There's things you don't know. There's elements of the situation in general that you don't know. And there might be a secret that comes out or comes to light that you're not so clear about, or you don't have a full mental grasp of yet. It doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. It's a very good reading. The only thing in the future I see that I wish this guy was in the upright. But I think that your future, your advice, I think that connecting with other people and celebrating life, reconnecting to your friends, not being solo all the time, maybe that will help flip this situation around, and you'll be more clear about a situation. You'll kind of get out in your own head. This person can also be kind of pretty mean with words when they're in a bad way. So if there was an argument with somebody who was in authority, there's an ask to temper the emotions, to temper how you go about things. Maybe coming on too strong with somebody as well. Really kind of check yourself and kind of go slow. Not that you're usually, Taurus is usually like pretty chill kind of. I like Taurus. Taurus is a great sign. I love them all, but Taurus is got a special place in my heart for Taurus. Your outcome. There is this if you look at it this way, I see a guy with a sword, something sharp. I see a guy with a bandage on his head at the end of something, just about to feel better. And then I see this guy triumphing home. So if somebody's had surgery of any kind, whether it was like, something that had to be removed, might have had like a cyst or something, could have been on your back. You could have been any kind of removal of some extra baggage of any kind. Now that I think about it, it could have been a female type removal of extra baggage, female body stuff. You'll get what I'm saying. If it's you, you already have known you're on that path. It's not something that's going to surprise you. It's already, this is the past. So, and you kind of got to get through this healing process. You're like, oh, this is a pain in the butt, but at the same time, you were unsure this decision was the right one to do. Some of you, because some of you got the decision to do this. It wasn't just like, it was elective, maybe. But in the end, whether elective or not elective, I see things going so well. I see people being like, wow, look at how good they're doing. People see you leaving a difficult situation, something that's been bothering you for a long time, and this is in hopes to go into peace, but then I think you end up going into celebration. So you might need to take some time for yourself. I think that's what you're doing now. You might be ready after this is all through to kind of celebrate with others. Your advice is to get happy with other people, get involved with other people, and involve them in your life, share your love with them in your life. And if your circle of friends isn't working out, try finding a new one. You might actually find new friends, through this process. And you're moving on out of treacherous terrain, and it's just like there's like this magical transformation, like Popper in a boat with a bunch of swords and about to sink, like ends up getting a horse magically, riding off into the sunset where his hometown is, to be greeted from his battle with flowers and adorned with wreaths, and loved ones waiting for him at that celebratory parade in his honor. There's a parade in your honor this month. Period. Just when you thought you couldn't take any more, it's like boom, change. And the Death card, then the Tower. This combination would normally bother me, but like, because I don't know, I think it's a glow up. I think it's a major glow up on your part. You're going to be looking refreshed and rejuvenated. I'm excited for you, Taurus. All right. Have a great month period. And I'll see you in mid-February. Bye.